This time on Bulletproof Tactical, we're going to review the Glock 19 Gen 5. People have been asking me the differences between the Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5, so I want to get the video out of the way. I picked up a Gen 5 for you guys. We're going to review it, we're going to take it down to the range, and I'll give you guys my opinion. Continue watching. There's plenty of bolsters and Alright, so let's go ahead and start with today's video, the Glock 19 Gen 5. So a lot of people have been asking what is the main difference between the Generation 4 and the Gen 5. We're going to get to that in a minute. You guys can see the firearm is clear, so we're good to go. And all the magazines in the table are empty. So let's go ahead and start. You guys are asking me, why is your firearm pink? So this is actually my camera crew's firearm. She's kind enough to lend it to us for today's review. And let's go ahead and take a look at all of our accessories. We're going to get a total of 3 magazines. All are 15 round capacity, unless you live in a different state which has restrictions. You're probably going to get 10 round magazines. So we're also going to get our back straps. The Gen 4 and the Gen 5 started incorporating back straps on the firearm. You guys can see this one has a beaver tail. Not a big fan of the back straps. There's some people with larger hands that like to put back straps on the firearm to make it more comfortable. And we get our speed loader. So one thing I want to talk about is the magazines. You guys can see there is a difference between these magazines and previous generation magazines. So this is a Gen 3 mag. You guys can see pretty much the same magazine. Only difference is this is orange and the base plate is a little bigger on the Gen 5s to previous generations. This one is orange because it's actually to help you guys know what round you're in when you're loading. It makes it more visible, and it's obviously better for you guys to know what round you're in when you're loading your magazines. And as far as the firearm goes, you guys can see we are going to get front and rear slide serrations, ambidextrous slide lock. We are going to get our magazine release button, which could be flipped over either side, and it's also a larger button compared to previous generations. As far as the grip goes, we're not going to get any finger grooves on the Generation 5. It's just flat and has like this pebble texture, which in my opinion is really comfortable. I really like the grip on the Gen 5s versus the Gen 4 and the Gen 3 with the finger grooves. It was a bit bulkier to grab the firearm. So let's go ahead and give you guys some specs. You guys can see our front and rear sight are exactly the same. Nothing has changed. We still get our plastic sights. As far as the trigger goes, we're still going to get our safety mechanism integrated in our trigger. And let's give you guys the specs. So as far as the barrel length goes, we are going to get 4.02 inch barrel. The overall weight of the firearm is 23.63 ounces. The weight loaded, I know a lot of you guys like to know what it weighs loaded, is 30.16 ounces. The overall length of the firearm is going to be 7.28 inches. The width is going to be a total of 1.34 inches, and the overall height of the firearm is going to be 5.04 inches. So you guys can see the specs. Not much has changed from generation. It's just minor refinements. People didn't like the grip on the previous generations. They didn't like the fact that they didn't have front slide serrations. I know they also changed the internals. The trigger is a bit different. You guys can see not as spongy as others. It resets and breaks much better than the Gen 3s, Gen 2s, and Gen 1s. So let's go ahead and take apart the firearm. And you guys can see we are going to get a dual recoil spring. Same takedown, really easy to maintenance. And of course the internals are a bit different. You guys can see slight upgrades. We're going to go ahead and take this gun down to the range. I'm curious to see how different it actually shoots from previous generations. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same deal, but let's go ahead and take it down to the range, see if we got any malfunctions. Continue watching. All right, so we're back from the range. How did it go? You guys saw typical Glock review, 0 malfunctions with a firearm. It ran flawless. I actually do think this is a bit more comfortable than the Gen 3. You know, I'm starting to dig the fact that it doesn't have the finger grooves. I truly like the pebble feel to it. It feels stickier than previous generations. Gives me a bit more confidence. As far as the ambidextrous slide lock, you know, I'm not a lefty, so that's nothing that I really care about myself, but I'm pretty sure some lefties are appreciating the fact that Glock took this approach. As far as the price goes, once again, this firearm is going with anywhere within $600 to $650 depending on the configuration you select. Not a bad price. 3 magazines. I like the fact that they offer you 3 magazines. As far as the magazine release button, it feels better than the stock Gen 3 and the stock Gen 4. I'll be 100% honest. As far as the takedown lever goes, still the same. Didn't notice any upgrades there. Front slide serrations, I'm a big fan. Sights, I wish for future generations they give you at least factory night sights, metal sights. You know, I'm not a big fan of plastic sights. So leave me a comment, guys. What do you guys think about this review? Do you guys like Glocks? Do you guys want to see any other review? Any other Glock you guys want me to review? And don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you on the next episode.